Hi, my name is Joni, holistic health teacher, coach, and consultant. I'm not one for labels, as all of these titles kind of overlap and are becoming more and more blurred as the shifts within our society continue to occur so rapidly these days. So I encourage you to take what works for you and leave the rest. My intention here is just to share what I've learned with anyone seeking guidance toward better whole health at this time and to keep it fun. Our health is truly our wealth. So if you'd like to hear more videos on keeping your holistic health in place, please subscribe below. Today we're talking about creativity and self-expression. We must create and self-express. Now, this is one department that falls by the wayside for myself, as well as many of my clients. Modern life for most people does not allow for every single thing we really want to do, which unfortunately, with a couple decades of the arts even being removed from public schools, it's a tough one. So trust me, I get it. It's tough to get this in because we don't feel like it's a mandatory, but perhaps this video will convince you otherwise. The first thing I often get when working with clients on this realm is, number one, I don't have time. Number two, I'm not an artist. So no, for most of us, a lucrative career to support ourselves and our loved ones while also having many extra hours for playing music just for fun or painting, while also hitting a new time yoga class or going surfing or skiing every day while simultaneously running a full-fledged business when truly, and I mean truly self-made, or say being, a single parent, it's just not happening. And I really do get that. I just want to be really clear that I'm totally with you. I personally just about killed myself trying to fit all of it in all of the time when I lived in LA, because a lot of times when we drop into self-improvement, holistic health, we feel pressured almost to get all of these things in that are good for us. It becomes a little bit of an obsession, right? And the reality is that most of us can't do them all every day or even every week. So even then, with no kids and just one pet, my time making art and being creative was pretty minimal. After working very long work weeks and my daily movement, which was yoga and teaching myself to surf at the time, and also studying for a career change, these were my primaries. So I certainly had to choose between the rest, which was having time for art and creativity, relaxing, chilling out, catching a breath, having a social life, or even a relationship, if you want to track back to the social life and relationship videos. None of those last few were being very fulfilled because I was so busy. And at the same time, I was still trying to just do it all. These were my choices as far as my number one, number two, and number three, because I knew I had to take advantage of some of those things while I could. But trust me, I really do get it. So always know that comparison with others who do have the luxury of doing these things is totally the thief of joy. That is a saying I've borrowed. I'm not sure who originally said it, that comparison is the thief of joy. Sadly, since most of, what we see on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you're viewing, you get this little inkling where, you kind of start to compare yourself to someone who you don't really know what the inside of their life is really about, and how can they make all these things happen, and how do they have time when I don't have time. That's all going to happen. So try not to compare, and chances are know that if you really are doing it all, you're probably light years ahead of where you think you are. But anyway, there are ways to boost our creative juices that take only a little bit of time each day so that when time does allow, we are grounded in our intentions. I'll link that video below on intentions versus goals. They are different. When time does allow, we've invested in having an idea of what direction to take this self-expression and creativity house into, and we can truly just drop in when the time does allow. So there's lots of options out there, but today I'll share two. Number 1 is early morning pages. So you can just keep a journal by your bedside and write when you open your eyes in the morning, write whatever comes to mind. It's a run-on stream of consciousness from referencing what occurred in your dreams to really anything that comes to mind. You will have just have woken up and you're in a little bit of a theta state, which allows your mind to roam a little bit easier. So just go ahead and write. It doesn't even matter if the first thing you write is, I don't know what to write down right now. Just begin to write. No one else is going to read it. So there's no worry about who's going to see it or anything. It's really important to just write freely. So 1 to 2 pages and then be off into your day. So again, this builds a muscle. This is a practice. With pen to paper, we're accessing the right side of our brain where creativity and intuition lies. This practice of tapping into it will signal the brain that, and this is a quote I actually borrowed from someone else, quote, "I'm prepared to accept my unconscious thoughts and feelings, and I accept that more and more will be revealed." I didn't write down who wrote the quote, but I did borrow that. This develops a trust and direct relationship with who you are, your inner self, so that you can better know what you really want. That's what we're getting to here with the holistic health topics. We're getting to the root of what we really want and arranging things so that we can take ourselves to where we want to be. In doing these morning pages, you might find that there's an artist in there after all, right? Number 2, adult coloring books. So this is my second and probably my favorite personal option. So many in certain generations were not given the gift of extensive writing or art within traditional education. Coloring books are one way to just relax and color like a kindergartner. And much like the morning pages, it accesses the right brain. And, you'll just let your thoughts float across your mind as you're coloring. And it just makes it a lot easier to not become attached to them, to just notice the thoughts, let them float by. And with the coloring, I think I've gifted coloring books to so many people. I can't even tell you, clients, family, friends, just a few minutes a day. I always get great feedback that, it really helps you get back to, I don't know, it just really it's relaxing. It keeps people at ease. It's almost like just going back to the days where you had nothing better to do than color. We'd all like to get back to that, right? So both of these actions are pretty quick ways to tap into what you love to express out in the world. Make note of any pings or downloads that come into your mind so that you can expand on them later. Those will be little clues as to where you really want to go and how you can create more and how you can self-express more. This house of holistic health is an area we could all stand to have a little bit more luxury around, right? So perhaps make that your intention over the next year. You can cruise back to my last video on intentions versus goals. Again, I'll link it below to wrap your head more around what those mean. Everyone has an artist within. We all deserve to find ours today. I hope these tools support you in designing your future. If this video resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for your time and energy and for being with me here today.